is the common thread connecting 5-year-old Warren Buffett to 95-year-old Warren Buffett? I would argue that it's numbers. He's a man who loves numbers. They've been a part of his life. He's adept with numbers. So let's take a look at some numbers from Berkshire Hathaway and its history. We start with a word cloud. This word cloud is the 100 most frequent words in Warren's last 50 chairman's letters. And of course, as you'd expect, Berkshire comes out on top. So, let's start with a pop quiz. In the last 5 years, Berkshire added more equity capital than in its first how many years? So how many people think it's 10? Nobody? Okay, good. 25 years? Okay, we've got one in the back. 35 years. All right. Well, this is my fun point. You're all wrong. This is of course a function of incredible compounding. 52 years from 1965, or 62 years from when Hathaway Manufacturing and Berkshire Fine Spinning Associates merged in 1955. Just an incredible statistic. Here's Berkshire's shareholders' equity in a regular graph form. And you can just walk through that progression over time when you look at the first chart in the blue there, to think that when you're sitting in 1995, all the progress that had been made at Berkshire becomes almost a line. And when we look back through its history, again, back through to 1990, we still see that progression. And what will Berkshire look like in another 25 years? I mean, these numbers will be absolutely enormous. A big part of that growth in equity capital is from operating earnings. That has really been Berkshire Hathaway's core economic engine. This chart only starts at 1999, again, just because of the sheer exponential nature of the numbers. But if you go back to 1965 all the way up through 2025, operating earnings contributed 58% of the growth in total capital at Berkshire Hathaway. The rest was investment gains, realized and unrealized, and then offset by some share buybacks. Berkshire's key to success, one of its keys to success, has been its insurance business. Last year, they ended with $173.5 billion of average float. Just an incredible amount of capital. Free sources of funding. The bars at the bottom here are the cost of float. So a negative cost of float is a benefit, which means they had underwriting earnings. A positive cost of float is not something you want to see. 2001 was the worst year, 12.8% loss. And what's remarkable about that graph, that history, is how infrequent those positive years are. Even those bars that are positive but are lightly shaded, so 1998 and 2002, those are years where Berkshire's cost of float was positive, meaning they had an underwriting loss, but that cost of float was still below the 10-year Treasury bill. So this float still was better. Berkshire still borrowed at a lower cost than the U.S. government. Just incredible. And if you go back to 1967, when Berkshire bought National Indemnity, there's only an additional 5 years where they had an underwriting loss. It is an incredible record, and one that I don't think will be repeated. Berkshire share price, we've probably all seen this graph.